In this video, I'm reviewing Dune and revealing how it changed my life. Hey guys, this is SC Nielsen, empowering you with the tools you need to read, write, and think story. And today we're going to be talking about Frank Herbert's classic science fiction novel, Dune. I read this at the tender age of 19 years old, and this book really came to me at a time when I needed it. It's a really compelling coming of age story that I hadn't been exposed to. It seems to me, at least when I read it, to be specifically targeted towards males that were kind of going through this stage in life. And for me, I had just gotten out of high school. And that summer, I kind of dropped out of contact with everyone. And I only had maybe a handful of people who still talked to me regularly. And there was this kind of shock when I realized that, of all these dozens of people that I interacted with and knew by name on a daily basis, those people were not my friends. And I kind of always knew that, but it wasn't until graduating high school and realizing I was never going to speak to them again that it really hit. And that was intense for me. I didn't think it was going to be that intense. I fell into a depression. There's really no other way to put it. And that's when I rediscovered my love of reading, and it started with Dune. And so I'm going to go ahead and read you guys the back of the book. Set on the desert planet Arrakis, Dune is the story of the boy Paul Atreides, who would become known as Muad'Dib, and of a great family's ambition to bring to fruition humankind's most ancient and unattainable dream. This story kind of gets a lot of flack for being written in third-person objective, which I kind of loved. I really feel like third-person objective presents the story in the way that Frank Herbert, I think, wanted and I think benefits it. There's a tremendous amount of neologisms, these new words kind of invented just for the story, this kind of massive living and breathing world that you're just thrown into. It's kind of like Malazan, Book of the Fallen, if you're familiar with that. But the book is long and difficult, but it's really rewarding, just like all hard things in this life. But I don't think it's that difficult, and I don't think it's that long either. Again, I really feel like we're kind of pampered with this industry of publishing that appeals to our baser desires, if I can say so. There's a fine line between making something incredibly easily digestible and making the reader work for some stuff. And I think that Dune definitely is on the far side of that spectrum. But when I read books like these, I don't stress over the words I don't understand, or the concepts that I'm not following, or the plot lines. Not the main plot line, of course, but tertiary plot lines that I'm not following. I typically don't worry about that, and I just kind of read until it makes sense. And for me with Dune, that's what I did. I read it until it made sense. And there are so many great little moments in Dune that are really worth the read. Fear is the mind killer, that classic. I don't know if it's a speech or a thought. Either way, it's a total classic passage. Really, really good. Great way to think about fear. My favorite quote is not that one, believe it or not. My favorite quote is faints within faints within faints within faints. That's my favorite quote. It's in the climax of the book. And so I'm not going to reveal what that means. You should definitely go read it and then put in the comments below that you found out what it means, and we can talk about that. I love that moment in the book. That payoff is worth the whole read, in my opinion. So that was my review of Dune. go ahead and give it a read. If it wasn't clear in the review, I give it a 10 out of 10 spice melanges. It's a really good book. Go read it. And I want to hear in the comments, let me know, how old were you when you read Dune? And did it change you like it changed me? If it didn't, is there a book that's really changed you? I would love to hear that in the comment section below. This was SC Nielsen, and now that I've told you my story, go make your own story.